What's going on, good people? This is Tyrell Cooper, the product manager of the RCA House Points over at the Ron Clark Academy. And you're taking a look today at the RCA House Points admin portal. This is where all the back-end magic happens for my system administrators and school administrators to navigate, upload students, pull reports, change your settings, manage your reward store, take a look at messaging, etc., etc., etc. So let's jump right on in. As soon as you log into the RCA House Points admin portal, you'll be approached by your dashboard. Your dashboard is a quick glance into exactly what's happening with your RCA House Points account. So what you'll see first, and you won't see populated here, are total points assigned. It'll give you a scale over the entire year and a total amount here. It'll let you know how many of your administrators are entering points and your staff members. And then you'll see an activity stream over here. This will let you know settings are edited, accounts are edited, staff members are archived, and give you a great snapshot into what's going on in your account. The next thing we'll look at once you enter your RCA House Points admin portal, we recommend going over to your settings just to make sure everything is correct, all your information is correct. Here, obviously, your information will be different. Just make sure that your name is correct, your grade level is your address, etc., etc. And you can also change if you start with your house system being with pre-K through 8th grade and you decide, you know what, we just want it pre-K through 5th. Of course, you can make that change and save your changes. Also, your membership over here. We have a membership cancellation form. We hope that you never use this membership cancellation form, but it is there. If you just go into your account, let us know an effective cancellation date, your reason for canceling, and some contact information. And we absolutely ask for additional details as to why you're canceling. It helps us shape our product better for you. The next thing I recommend going over to are your houses. You can have up to 8 houses. And no, you don't have to use our 4 RCA houses. You can completely customize these houses. And let's say that you do customize them and you want to go back to RCA's original houses, you can absolutely do that by pressing the Restore Defaults button up here at the top. And let's just say I want to change these houses. I go to Customize. I can change the name to anything I want to. I can upload my own crest or logo and save the changes. Then I can activate between 4 and 8 houses. You have to at least have 4 houses as a minimum. So the moment I enable one house and I want to disable, let's say Amistad, you can absolutely do so. That is simple enough. Next, I will go take a look at your categories to see exactly what categories your staff members will be entering points for. You can have as many categories as you want. You can edit the current categories, but they do have to be associated with a parent category for your reporting feature, which we'll talk about a little bit later. That's simple enough. Let's head over to the users. Here's where you'll do your user management and roster management, but let's start initially with user management. Once you enter user management, you have 3 tabs at the top for your staff members / admins, your guardians, and your students. Now there are multiple ways that you can upload or import staff members, guardians, and students. Our recommendation is doing a bulk upload using a CSV document. And you can actually find that video right here on your right. Should you want to just skip over to that? In the meantime, we'll keep this video a bit more brief and just talk about the upload at a high level. So you can individually add members to your staff. The only required information is first name, last name, and email. And you can also fill out additional fields with phone number, staff ID, and the house. Now the house isn't a requirement because that doesn't show on the front end whatsoever to your staff members or to your students. hence the reason it's not a required field. You can then go in and change permissions for this staff member, and we'll talk briefly about these permissions. You will not see super admin in your portal, so we'll disregard that. You can make them a school administrator. This allows them access to this portal. If not, they only have access to the staff portal. You can allow them to assign more than 10 points at a time. We typically recommend capping this to avoid point inflation. They can view the school kiosk and pull up the leaderboard up here in their account for their individual classrooms or displays. They can also run house reports and school reports. So if you want to delegate them just to run house reports for the House of Isabendi, they can, or an entire school report, they can have access to that as well. But remember, once they're a school administrator, they have access to all of these features. So these do not need to be selected, because once I make them a school administrator, they disappear. So we recommend deselecting all of these and just simply making them a school admin if you want them to have all of those features. And we won't save this person because it was just a test. You can also go in and edit each of your staff members if you want their permissions to change. In addition, you can archive staff members, and you can use this ellipsis button to see who's been archived and unarchive them. So I can see the archived and the active. You can also select multiple and archive all of them. Again, we'll talk about bulk upload in another video. So let's go over to Guardians. Here you can see the Guardians and how many students are connected to them. You can also change the students and archive them. And you can also lock an account. They can also lock themselves out of the system by attempting passwords too many times. They can simply wait 1 hour for the account to unlock, or they can contact you as an administrator and you can unlock it for them. Now heading over to your students. This looks a bit different than your staff and guardians. This is where you upload all of your students. You can do them individually, or you can bulk upload them. But remember, we'll talk about bulk upload in another video. Here you can take a look at all of your different students, their house, their grades, their guardians that are connected to them, and when they were created, and their student ID. You can grant them access as an administrator to their very own student portal that's available on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. What will happen if I click this button? It'll ask if I want to grant access to author blank for him to access his student portal. And then I download those instructions. What happens? It prints a unique letter with instructions on how to enter their student portal using the student access code. Now, the student access code is unique. These accounts aren't associated with emails, hence the reason that these passwords are so long. And once you print that, it moves them to pending. Once they connect to the app, it moves to access, a green button. And as you can see at the top, none of my test students are connected to the app, and that's perfectly fine. I can hit the X, or I can grant them access all at once. And if I go to hit this X, it'll remain up here as an issue until it's addressed. Your students don't have to be associated with the app whatsoever if you don't want them to, so you can disregard this. If I wanted to print off the letters for all of the students, I can simply hit this button, and now it'll download a zip file with all of those individual instructions for you to send home with your students or hand out to your staff members. In addition, I can reset access and change their password should they need it. Guardian letters simply print off a letter for them to send on with their parents that allows them an opportunity to connect to their student accounts. You can print it in English or Spanish, and you can include or not include the student ID number. Then again, it prints a mass file with all of the access information for parents. You can then send this home with your students. Also within the Guardian accounts, they can allow access to student portals directly, taking the responsibility off of administrators and teachers. And you can see how that works in the Guardian tutorial video. Also, one thing to note, if you go to edit a student, you have the ability to edit their information and upload media. And let me actually go to someone who has media, where you can add a photo or a looping video. We do have a tutorial video on how to upload motion graphics for students. Also, in our CSV bulk upload video, you can see how to bulk upload pictures or videos. It's a very simple process. Reports are one of my favorite features because you can track your students and their success, but you can also hold your staff members accountable to see how many points they're entering on a regular basis. So you can select the report type by student or staff, and then choose a custom period, filter by certain houses, grade levels, categories, and then you can group them as necessary. And there isn't much data in this report, obviously, because it's a test environment, but you can also export this into a CSV file and save it to your records. I can also save this report as a custom report and easily go back and pull that report again on a regular basis. Next, we'll talk about the reward store. This is one of my favorite features. It further incentivizes your students to participate and gives them something to look forward to. So here, you can manage your products, look at pending orders, look at your order history, and manage your student wallets. So I can go in here and add whatever products I want to, make some a bit easier than others. You do want products that are out of reach to give them something to strive for. I can go in and edit each of my products by replacing its pictures, its cost, its name, the description, and the stock. Whenever a student redeems one of these products, the stock automatically decreases for you. You can delete products or you can add new products. And as an administrator, I can go back and take a look at my pending orders. I don't have any right now because this is a test environment, but you can take a look at your order history. You can see the status of certain requests. Michael Jordan actually redeemed Crocs for a price of 30 coins, which is a lot. And then you can manage student wallets. So let's say that a student accidentally selected the wrong product. You can come in here, you can take a look at Michael Jordan's where he's earned 59 and spent 30 and has a balance of 29. I can take a quick glance at that, what he's won coins for, and manually adjust it if necessary. I can add or subtract and mark a reason. It is also important to note that every single time that a student receives a house point, in addition, they receive a house coin. So once they spend their house coin, it does not deplete or subtract from your points total for your house or the individual student points. And that's the reward store in a nutshell. Super simple. Now on to one of our newest features, which is two-way messaging. We're super excited about. You as an administrator get to peek into individual rooms and manage them. You can go in and test these individual rooms. You can solve issues if there are issues, or you can change the room owner to someone else. I can also archive rooms, or I can reassign users from this page. That's it in a nutshell from the admin portal on two-way messaging and room management. All the fun happens on the staff and student side. The next thing we'll talk about is our leaderboards up here. If your school uses our 4 original RCA houses, you participate in the global leaderboard, which is just a race amongst our 4 original houses for bragging rights at the end of the year. But then you have your individual school leaderboard as well. where you can see your latest contributors, who's in first place, accompanied by this gold cool trophy. And if you're using motion videos, they'll play here as well. We have 0 points for Andraka, but we have no contributors. And we'll take a quick glance at the global leaderboard as well. And the greatest house on earth is that Bendy is in first place. That pretty much wraps up the admin portal. The only 3 features we did not discuss: 1, CSV upload and media upload in bulk. There's another video for that. And then promoting students and transitioning your school year. There is also a separate video for that I'd recommend you look at. But we've covered pretty much everything else. Should you need any help, here's your help button up here. Take a look at tutorial videos that'll actually redirect you here, but you should be good to go. Should you have any questions, feel free to reach out to housepoints@ronclarkacademy.com or anybody else on our team, and we can answer all of your questions. I appreciate y'all spending time with me. Have a good one.